Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is her live, I'm Miss Matt. Hello, what's up? Okay, so Buffy, last time in Buffy, what happened? We got the weird demon hunting possessed puppet thing, and then we had a talent competition. I actually enjoyed that episode way more than I should have, just because it was so out of fucking nowhere. Like, whatever happened in the last third of the episode, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. That's so and I'll say that while editing the episode, I think that they were deliberately trying to fuck with the audience. Specifically the audience of people like me, specifically someone like me, because you didn't get to watch the full-length version of that episode. I mean, maybe you did, but most likely you didn't because you didn't pay money for it on Patreon. But that episode, the entire time, I was just like, okay, is it this? It might be this. It might be that, actually. Oh, it could be that. And the entire time, I just kept suspecting things based on what they were showing me. And while editing the episode, I was just like, yeah, there's no reason for them to do this little shot unless they were trying to psych the audience out. Because there was besides the fact that you're thinking it's the puppet, and then you're thinking it's Morgan, and then it's neither, and the puppet is actually good. And then after that, I was like, who is the demon? Oh, maybe it's the principal. I fucking hate the principal. Maybe that's why he sucks. And honestly, I just wanted him to die. Honestly, I didn't necessarily believe it was the principal, but I was just like, okay, there's no other character that was introduced in the episode. And also, I kind of hate him, so I kind of hope it's him. And there's one scene where Giles looks Giles is in the talent show competition, and he's walking and he sees a shadow, and it's clearly the principal because he has a very distinctive silhouette. He's bald, he's short, and I'm just like, that's a principal. And Giles looks at him very suspiciously, and in a mystery, like a horror movie, and the silhouette looks at him back, and then it just walks away, and Giles is like, oh, and then we just move away, which is never addressed that. And that is a scene that was just shot in order to make you think it was the principal, and then it wasn't. That's the only reason why that scene was there. So I think that episode was literally just them, while directing it, they were just like, all right, we're just gonna try to fuck with people as much as we possibly can in order to make them think okay, you can't predict what's gonna happen. And in a way, they were right. In a way, they were actually, well, because you can shoot things in any way you want in order to make people think something, but at that point you're just lying to them. But it's funny, I like it. It's not necessarily the best trick to do. It's not like they played with the audience. It's more like we had fun together, and I enjoyed that. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of them just fucking getting high in the writer's room and then just coming up with whatever the fuck they did, and then just all right, no one is gonna be able to predict whatever we're gonna do. And I'm just perfect, that's what I want. My favorite music genre is 70s prog, because that's exactly the way they wrote those songs. So yes, I want to see that, the equivalent of that, but Buffy. Anyway, yeah, that was the previous episode. Shout out to the Patreon. You can go into the Patreon and check out the early access episodes. You can watch the next 2 episodes already over there, and you should be 2 weeks ahead because I'm releasing these weekly, as well as full-length reactions. If you want to watch the full reaction to any of these episodes, you can find that there too. Shoutouts to Nonman for sponsoring this video as usual. And yeah, let us begin. Oh, final thing I forgot to mention, and this is just for me. I was told that this is the episode where the spiders show up. Because in the first episode, I was like, oh fuck, there's spiders in the intro. And someone told me immediately from week 1, it's episode 10. And I'm like, gotcha, thank you. But apparently it's just during the beginning. It's just one scene at the beginning, which makes me feel better. But I still have a solution for this. And my solution is to literally just pull up I'm pulling up my episode and I'm making the window as tiny as I possibly can, to the point that I can't even make up what's happening in it. You know the reaction like window that you see in the top right when I'm editing the video? Like it's even smaller than that. That's what the episode window is for me right now. And then when the spiders are over, I'm gonna make it big. So that's my solution. I did that with Doctor Who. There's an episode of Doctor Who where I just did that for like 10 minutes. That was funny. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us begin. So, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 1, Episode 10. Let's go. This isn't real. Nightmare? Okay.
I spoke with your father. He's coming, right? You're on for this weekend. Good.
Okay. Interesting. Plot episode?
Do you know why your folks split up?
I didn't ask. I just stopped getting along.
Maybe we'll learn today.
I'm sure I was a really big help, though. With all the slang and everything.
I'm sure that didn't have anything to do with him leaving.
No.
Okay. I'm expecting spiders sometime soon. So what's up with Wendell? Are you gonna die this episode? Vita like?
78, where Isaacson describes the rapid improvement active science. No.
We're good. We're chilling. We're good. It's fine. I'm waiting for everyone to stop screaming. I'm waiting for the intro to play out.
Sorry about that.
Okay, a kid apologized, and now we're playing the intro. Okay, we're safe. So I didn't see anything about what was happening, so I'm just gonna operate with like half the knowledge here. But I think Buffy looked and saw a kid that was looking very ominously, almost like a supernatural figure. Spiders popped out of a book, which was very random. It was a spider jump scare, which I didn't appreciate. God, if nobody had warned me that was gonna happen, I would have like lost it. I'm good. And then I think the kid said sorry about that. I think it was the kid. And this is me operating entirely on the audio. I don't know what the fuck happened, but okay. Okay, let's full screen this now. Yes. I love this guy. Every scene where he's in, I'm just like, I love him.
Don't like spiders, okay? They're
Good
furry
Willow.
bodies and their sticky webs.
Shut the fuck
what
up,
do they
Willow.
need all those legs for anyway? I'll tell you. For crawling across your face in the middle of the night.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Hey, Giles. Wakey.
Did you have a nightmare?
I was in the stacks. Got lost.
We just thought you might want to talk about what happened.
You know, yesterday with the spiders.
I don't know what to say about that. There's nothing to say. You saw 200 insects. You gonzoed. Anybody would have. They're not insects. They're arachnids.
They're worse, yeah.
From lots of times.
Ew.
Are you cursed?
hate spiders more than I do.
I don't hate spiders. I love them. They
Okay.
hate me. All my brother had to do was maintain their habitats. Instead, he left their heat lamp on for a week.
You got cursed by the spider demons.
Teacher asked me to read something. I open up my book, and there they are.
Okay.
Right after me. And that's
So
how it
he's just having nightmares
Yesterday
about
in
this.
class, I thought I just nodded off again.
So this is just common for him. The nightmares are. But this time they turn into a reality. Oh, this could be really bad for Buffy. If Buffy's having nightmares that she's meeting the master or whatever, and if that turns into a reality through some means, through some paranormal means, which is what that kid was. If that's what I'm guessing is happening, the kid is able to turn nightmares into realities for some reason. This is not a spider episode. This is a nightmare episode. Yeah, that's nightmare stuff. Everything's gonna go wrong, like it happens in nightmares. Time, yes. Is this a nightmare or a nightmare that turned real? That body monster.
Shouldn't go in there.
Something's gonna happen to this girl. Whatever her nightmare is. I mean, where's the nightmare about like crippling loneliness and ability for people to not understand you? Like, where's the like existential dread nightmare? That's what the one I want to see. Nightmares don't have to be like this physical, tangible things that scare you. It doesn't have to be like a literal monster. It doesn't have to be spiders, though in my case it would be.
Lucky 19.
It's a monster. Maybe it's not so much like making a concept a reality. Maybe it's a monster that takes shape, manipulates like his shape or something.
Looked up the word lately?
Well, the first one's still in a coma. The girl, only he's in worse shape. If he doesn't wake up soon...
Is that the kid?
I'm taking him down.
Oh my god.
This is about honor. I'll break his neck.
That's what toxic masculinity has taught me. Oh god, Willow's afraid of spiders.
My little baby. Mom, what are you doing here? Mom, how's my little booty? Mom, please don't kiss me for everybody. This is embarrassing, Mom.
Oh, that's a nightmare actually. Want to see his baby in shadow. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh!
Xander, what happened to your...
I don't know. I was dressed a minute ago.
Yeah, okay. This is crazy.
You don't know if you didn't find anything.
He's not sure about anything.
Problem.
He can't internalize like knowledge or something. He can't read.
I can't read.
Oh my god, okay, that's what it is. Billy Palmer, 12 in coma. He was the first one, okay.
There's astral projection. The theory that while one sleeps, one has another body, an astral body, which can travel through time and space.
Billy's... Could I be seeing Billy's asteroid body?
Asteroid
Astral body, and I don't...
Can I speak with you for a moment? Privately?
Is this part of a nightmare?
Sure.
About your mother and me. Why we split up.
Okay.
It was you.
Me?
It's your fault.
Having you. Raising you, seeing you every day. I mean, do you have any idea what that's like? Well, big surprise there. All you ever think about is yourself.
Nightmare.
You get in trouble. You embarrass us with
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
stunts you...
Just people coming after you being like, it's all your fault. What I said earlier, where is the existential like nightmare? Just mentally breaking you
Hey, Buffy,
down?
let's
This
be
is
honest. Could you stand to live in the same house with a daughter like that?
it. Aw.
Why are you saying all these things?
Because they're true.
That's really far.
You know, I don't think
That's
it's
really
very
sad.
mature getting...
I know it's not real, but it's real to her, so.
I don't really get anything out of these weekends with you. So, what do you say we just don't do them anymore? I sure thought you'd turn out differently.
Wow.
Xander kind of found himself in front of our class, not wearing much of anything.
Except my underwear.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was a bad thing.
Bad thing. I was naked.
If you weren't naked, that's the silver lining.
Somehow, I think he's crossed over from the nightmare world he's trapped in.
And he brought the nightmare world with him.
That's
Thanks
weird,
much, Billy.
but sure.
How could he do that?
Yeah, no idea.
Things like that are easier when you live on a Hellmouth.
Well,
Okay, sure, whatever. Helmut explains everything.
We have to stop it.
And soon.
We need to murder that child while he's in a coma. That's the worst nightmare. Having like 80s metal band hair. Girl, that looks sick.
Did something bad happen to you after your game?
Yeah, he got attacked or
I don't
something.
remember.
That means that girl didn't really... She didn't get hit by nightmares.
The ugly man, he wants to kill me. And he hurt that girl.
Okay, yeah, so
Why
there's
does he wanna kill
a
you,
different
Billy?
entity here.
Billy, it's okay, what? Just tell me. He's here!
Let's go, girl. Get him. Get his ass. Maybe he's not even real. Like, maybe it's just some dude that attacked him. And this is his vision of what that dude that attacked him is. The nurse are taking her to the chess team. That's wonderful. She's gonna be like great at chess too. I don't know what that was, but Xander. Oh god, it's Nazis! He's gonna fist fight a Nazi! I hope he fist fights a Nazi. Okay, he might not fight him, but I hope he does. They're luring him in with chocolate? Hell yeah, I'm so lucky. He didn't even finish the first one!
I missed a ball and I should have caught it. You missed one ball and the whole game was your fault? What? You were the one playing, there wasn't 8 other people on your team?
That's good.
He said it was my fault.
Okay, there we go.
Billy, did he hurt you after the game? Can we go another way to find your friends?
Sure.
Maybe like the coach or like his dad like started talking shit to him and maybe assaulted him. Oh god. And now we're in a graveyard. Man, we're really making use of this graveyard set. I said it before. We've seen it like 5 times now. Oh god. What the fuck?
I didn't learn the words.
Oh god. Man. That is actually really bad. That's actually like difficult to watch. My man's killing it though. The way he look at her like
My turn.
I'll be barred.
It's like 7 of them. It's clowns! Let's go! Let's fucking go! I love murder clowns! Is the clown a Nazi too? Dude, I would love that. Oh my god. Just keep piling things up, making it as ridiculous as possible.
It's the fun of burying someone if they're already dead.
Oh man, it's the master.
So, this is the Slayer.
Are you real or are you a nightmare? He could be freed via the nightmare.
Free because you fear it.
Yeah.
Because you fear it, the world is crumbling.
Alright, that's fine.
How about being buried alive?
How are we gonna solve this?
She's fine, Buffy.
I had to sing very bad. Just sing.
Come on.
Oh yeah, when the clown chased you and you got so scared that you had.
Look,
Oh.
look to your left. Yeah. I was running away from the murder clown. I love this. I love everything about this. You know what? Fight him. Fight your fears. Face them. Boom! Deck him in the
You are a
face.
lousy clown.
Hell yeah!
In a few hours, reality will fall completely into the realm of nightmares.
What do we do?
Yeah.
The only thing I can think is to try and wake Billy.
Seeing the Slayer buried alive.
I failed, but she was so gifted. And the evil was so great.
It is sad for him. It is not sad for me because I know this is not the end of the show, so. She's like, ah! I hope. Yeah. Okay, that's the nightmare. Alright, that's the nightmare.
Oh, God.
I need you to hold together long enough to help us. Can you do that?
Are you sure everything will go back once he's awake?
Oh, positive.
Well, how
It's
do we wake
literally
Billy
your
up?
best
What
shot.
if we can't?
Willow, do shut up.
We kill him. Like, I don't know if our main cast is gonna murder a child in a coma, but like, realistically, we should kill this kid. Maybe if we defeat the monster, yeah. The ugly man, the bad man. Yo. Oh my god. I wanna see what a vampire slayer who is also a vampire fights
I'll
like.
tell you something though. There are a lot scarier things than you.
For example, a vampire slayer. Get his ass! Maybe it's the kid the one that needs to defeat him, not her. Alright, that's weird. Is he gonna wake up now? Alright, cool. Magically everything's fine.
Get a doctor.
Right.
Oh, Billy's got company. I'm his kitty league coach. I come by here every day just hoping against hope that he's gonna wake up soon. My lucky 19.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
fuck this guy.
How is he?
Yeah.
You blamed him for losing the game. So you caught up with him afterwards, didn't you?
What are you talking about?
You said it was my fault that we lost.
No, fuck
It
you.
wasn't my fault. There's 8 other players on the team.
You tell him,
know
kid.
that.
Like, he beat up this fucking child. Like, fuck this guy. Alright. It all came along nicely. It all came together. That was the craziest day we just had.
When Buffy was a vampire, you weren't still, like, attracted to her, were you?
She was even more attractive.
Willow, how can you... I mean, that's really bent. She was...
Still dug her, huh?
I'm sick. I need help.
That's called a monster fucker. That's totally fine. There's a lot of people like you. Don't worry about it. Alright, cool. No spiders, except for the beginning where I didn't look. That's fine. Hi. It's been a minute since we had a chat. Because we did. I'm recording this like a couple hours later after I watched the episode. I went to get some food. I watched a couple videos. I was just chilling. What's up? I'm gonna try to be quiet now because it's like 1 a.m. So, alright, let's go over this episode. I actually really liked this episode. I kind of did. Like, so, some episodes of the show can feel a little bit on the more ridiculous, silly side. This episode weirdly didn't because a lot of what is ridiculous about it is fueled by everyone's personal like fear, and everyone's like individual fear is like, it's fine that it doesn't make sense. It's fine that it is a little bit irrational because that's you're irrational. Human beings are irrational creatures, you know, like we do get scared by random stuff, and it's not just it's not just, and I like that this is something that the episode brought up, is that it's not just like the fact of like, oh my god, that's a monster, it's gonna kill me, I'm scared of that, you know, like that does make sense. But like earlier in the episode when they started going about nightmares, I was like, where are the like existential nightmares, you know, where are the nightmares that make you feel like shit? Like where's the nightmare about like loneliness and feeling like nobody understands you or loves you or something like that, which is a real fear. And like you can have nightmares about that. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be something physical and tangible. It can be something that is more like a concept. It just makes you feel like shit, because ultimately like your own like feelings is what fuels it, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be like something physical that will like assault you or anything. And they did go into it a little bit with Buffy. There was a scene that I really like, which we really didn't dwell too much into. Like it was just like a small portion of the episode, but at one point Buffy's dad just shows up and he's like, yo, what's up? And I'm just like, oh, okay, we're gonna learn about Buffy's dad or something. And I thought it would be more like plot center than it was. But in this scene, Buffy's dad shows up and he's like, you know why we split? Because of you. You know, you're always a troublemaker, you're a piece of shit. Like you have any idea what it's like to just raise someone like you? And it was like a weirdly painful scene to watch, because you understand that this isn't real, right? You know that rationally, but Buffy doesn't know that, and you feel bad for Buffy. And I like that like they knew what they were doing, because a lot of that scene was just focused on Buffy's face, and it was just like slowly zooming in her as she was just starting to like cry more and more. It was like sad to watch. And even if I know like things are gonna be okay, that's not real, I'm still just like, I feel bad for her, I really do, because like they did what I what I said they should do, which is just talk about the nightmares that is just like your own feelings just fucking breaking you, because a lot of fear comes from something like that. And it wasn't like loneliness, it wasn't like rejection. I suppose in a way it was rejection, you know? Part of it was the fact that like your dad and your parents in general are rejecting you. But more than that, I felt like it was guilt, which is bad. Guilt feels like shit. And part of it, like, the reason why it was a nightmare is because like Buffy felt it, so it was fueled by her. But earlier in the episode, she's the one that said it. She like actively said like my parents split up. They never told me why, although I'm guessing I was probably like not the best to deal with, you know, with all the vampire slaying and shit. So she like acknowledged that, but because she is having this nightmare here, it feels like, okay, this is something that she's very self-conscious about. This is something that she's like struggling thinking about. So I like that scene was in there. And this was a tiny scene in the episode. It didn't actually matter to anything in the whole scheme of the episode, but it did matter a little bit towards Buffy's character. So maybe that will matter for like later on, like when we're talking about family and how she feels. But I enjoy that being there, because I felt like I understand that. I do understand that on a more than just like analytical level. Like I get the feeling. So I enjoyed that scene. It was fogged, but I enjoyed it. Anyway, so the episode was heavily about nightmares. I'm trying to like not to not sound like very loud, because again, it's like 1:30 in the morning. Maybe I can get the microphone closer to my face. There's less light that way because there's a light underneath me, but sure. Hi. What's everyone doing today? This might sound like shit, actually. But I also really enjoyed the way the whole situation resolves with the coach at the end, because so you don't really fully know what's going on for a majority of the episode, and when you figure out what is going on, it's almost like, sure, I'll accept it. And the reason why you just accept it is because they go like Hellmouth, and I'm just like, sure, the Hellmouth. How could I forget? Just like anytime something crazy happens, it's just like, oh, there's a kid that is in a coma, and the kid's astral projected into our world and brought the nightmare world with him because he was having nightmares. And they're just like, yeah, that's probably what happened. And I'm just like, wait, how? Like, how does that make any sense? And Giles just goes Hellmouth, and I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I'm rolling with it. Just fuck it, yeah, sure. It's like JoJo logic, you know, like JoJo logic is like, it makes no fucking sense, but the character goes like, no, believe it, and I'm just like, okay, I believe it. I believe it. If I spend any time questioning it, it's gonna lead nowhere, so it's just better for me to just accept it. But yeah, this kid was in a coma, and he was beat up by this like coach dude, and like I could tell that that's like, they basically tell you without telling you exactly. But like when the coach walked in at the end of the episode, I was just like, oh, this fucking guy. Like the fact that he was like, oh, I come here every day to check up on him. I'm just like, oh, fuck off. Like, oh, fuck you. And I'm glad that everyone like caught on like really quickly, given it was because he said you are my lucky number 19, lucky 19, something like that. So, okay. So something that is like interesting about this episode is the fact that the nightmares filter into the world, like actually, like physically, realistically, because in a way I felt like nightmares could have been like coming to haunt the person that like that the nightmares originate from. But no, like this dude, the bad man, whatever, the nightmare version of the coach is like assaulting like other students. Like he like attacked this other girl, and like that was something that threw me off a little bit. But it's like, okay, sure, those sorts of rules we're operating in. And then at the end of the episode, it's just absolute chaos. You know, you look at the city and there's like giant hornets flying around, given they look like shit because of the CGI, but sure, we'll roll with it. But yeah, like that's actually like absolute chaos, and I kind of love that. That is like insane in how like the magnitude of that problem is, which is, it's so much more than just like, all right, we're just fighting this monster this week. No, this episode is like literally just like the fabric of reality's falling apart. It's just like, oh my god, like we're so lucky that the solution to that was literally for the kid to just be like, fuck you to the coach monster. Like we're so lucky that that was the solution, because if that didn't solve anything, we would have been fucked. We would have been fucking fucked. Anyway, Buffy turned into a vampire. Okay, I would have liked it more if like she actually like acknowledged it while fighting, you know. It's just like she had a really good moment where she could have gone like, she had a line which was like, there are things much scarier than you, for example me. I would have loved it if she was like, there are things more scarier than you, like for example a vampire slayer. Like that's like, you get like the most powerful entities, make them like the single thing and give them main character powers, and it's like, hell yeah, let's go, you know. Because like honestly, like you're never gonna get to see the vampire slayer also being a vampire except for this exact situation. So let's fucking milk it. Let's fucking make it as cool as fucking possible. And a little bit she had that when she attacked him. She like went like, rah, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And then she just started like punching him and fighting him. Like that would have been cool. Would have been awesome if she like went like berserk and just destroyed this dude. But yeah, anyway, we had to have like a somewhat balanced fight sequence anyway. But I really enjoyed how at the end the kid is just like acknowledges that that the coach is a bad person, because like he has a scene with Buffy where he's like, it's my fault that we lost, and Buffy is like, how is it your fault? And it's like, well, I didn't catch the ball, and we lost the game for that. It's like, you lost the entire game because you didn't catch a ball. Like you didn't have any other like 8 other players with you, like. And also like, even if you just don't catch a ball, like that doesn't like, people don't catch balls in like the highest of pro plays. Like this is just something that happens. If everyone played perfectly, then the game would just never end and nobody would score anything. Mistakes are gonna happen. That's part of the game. So yeah, like this kid had this moment of like, he was blaming himself. He was guilty, and then Buffy is like, no, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. And then the kid faces the scary man, which was the monster version of the coach, and then the real coach shows up and he confronts them. And they all confront the coach, and then the kid confronts the coach as well. And then they all just like, he tries to run away, and suddenly like grabs him, and Giles just like, fuck you. And then they just bring it to the police, which I'm like, I don't know, I call bullshit on the fact that like the police was so quick to act, but sure, whatever. It works out. I suppose the kid like testified, just like, no, it was him the one that put me in this state, and they were like, what the fuck? So yeah, sure, that probably resolved quite nicely. Yeah, that was nice. I enjoyed how at the end he was just like, fuck you, because he did really just assault a child. And I know during the episode I was like, we should murder the child because that would solve the problem, because it would. But so yeah, I'm glad that dude got the ending he deserved, and I'm glad how everyone was there and everyone realized it, and everyone was like, fuck you, because it's almost like the real like nightmare. It's like reality, like it's based on reality, like it was that dude. So yeah, that dude is to blame. I am so glad that it wasn't a spiders episode, because I was afraid that it would be. I mean, okay, so people told me on episode 1 when I looked at the spiders in the intro, and I was like, oh, I can't see that, and I was like dreading whenever I would reach the episode with them. Somebody told me like it's episode 10 and it happens like at the beginning, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch the episode in like this tiny box, like it was like super tiny, it was like around this size. And I just put it on my screen, and if you watch like the full length, well, oh god, I'm gonna have to edit this episode too, shit. But like, yo, I'm taking offers of editors. No, I'm not. So I just had the tiny box, and while watching it, I had my hand on my mouse, and I had like the really tiny like box, and I was just like resizing it with my right hand while I was watching it. I was just like this, and then when they showed up, I was like, nope, tiniest, and then it just stopped looking. So yeah, I kind of would like to see that scene to see what happens exactly in it, but I also don't want to see it, so I guess I'll never know. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who told me that it was episode 10, because people told me like right at the beginning, and then even this week when episode 7 aired on YouTube, people were like, by the way, episode 10 is the one with spiders. And I'm like, gotcha, thank you so much. I got it, don't worry. Thank you for the reminder sale. Yeah, thank you for people looking out for me. That's really cool of you. Fuck them spiders. Anyway, it is funny that Sanders, like, I mean, every fear that was presented here was like something, what is someone looking for? Like, it's not uncommon for the average person to have. Like, I know, like, of course, I have arachnophobia. Spiders are common fears. Sander was afraid of clowns. That is also a common fear, apparently. I actually really like murder clowns in media. Like, I actually really like murder clowns. For some reason, I do. I think they're fun characters to bring into the phrase sometimes. Probably it's because of like Homestuck's fault. One of my favorite characters is a fucking murder clown. So yeah, I just enjoy seeing them. I think it's a great fun contrast, you know, having something that's supposed to be fun and lively and colorful, and it's just like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. That's really funny to me. So I just like that concept. But yeah, Sander just straight out at one point was like, fuck you, and just punched him in the face. And I'm like, hell yeah, fucking punch that clown. I was hoping it would be a Nazi, because Sander did say at one point earlier, just like, I'm not afraid of spiders crawling around me, but like, I don't know, if it was a bunch of Nazis crawling on me, maybe I would be scared. And when he was walking into the room, when there were like chocolates and shit, like he was clearly walking into problem. In the background, there's this swastikas, like straight up swastikas. And I was just like, what the fuck? Okay, is he gonna fight a Nazi? And I was like kind of looking forward to it, because not gonna lie, I would like to see a Nazi getting punched. That would be fun to see. But no, it was just a clown. And the clown is fine. I suppose the clown could have been a Nazi too. Like, maybe he was, I just didn't pay enough attention to it. Maybe he had a swastika as the sign. Because otherwise, then there's just some swastikas in the background of this episode for no reason. And I'm just like, I'm guessing that it's because they wanted to either make the audience think that it was going to be a Nazi and then it was a clown. Maybe they were trying to scare those people that are scared of clowns. Maybe. Because I don't know if people have like okay, I shouldn't speak for other people, but like, I don't know if people are afraid of Nazis. People hate Nazis, but I don't know if anyone's like scared of them, you know? Like, that could be the case. Sorry, I'm not someone that would be afraid of a Nazi. I would fist fight a Nazi. I would have no issue doing so. But like, I don't know. But like a clown is more like a primal fear. You know, you see people getting afraid of clowns normally. So maybe they were trying to make people think that a Nazi was going to show up, and everyone was like, yeah, let's fucking punch a Nazi, and then a clown showed up, and those people that are afraid of clowns, they were like, oh my god, I'm scared because I was expecting a Nazi. Maybe they were trying to do something like that. Maybe they wanted to get a Nazi in, but then the like TV company was like, no, you can't do that. And then they were like, well, fine, I guess it's just going to be a clown. And they already shot the previous scenes. I don't know. But I do like how multiple fears got represented. Like, Willow said she was afraid of spiders. Luckily, she didn't have a spider scene. Thank you. But then she was thrown into, like, this, like, public event. She's, like, the world's greatest, like, soprano singer or something like that. And all these, like, fancy opera people are just, like, looking at her, just, like, sing. And the dude that she was doing a duet with, which is even worse, the fact that it's someone doing a duet with you and he's looking at you disappointedly, like, even that, it's just like, wow, that was actually difficult to watch. When it was her turn and everyone just look at her and it's just silence, and I'm just like, I don't want to see that. That's like too much embarrassment. That is also a fear, fucking up in public, or just something that you're just straight up not capable of doing. Buffy got to like completely just fuck up a test, you know. Cordelia showed up and she was like, we had a test due today, and she was like, what, we had a test? Oh my god, I didn't realize it. And then she tries to like write down her name and her pencil breaks and she's like, oh my god, and then she does this and then looks at the clock and it's like already time. It's like, yeah, that's another nightmare, you know. School nightmares are like really frequent. And Sander, of course, walks into class and he's like in underwear. Honestly, he's fucking lucky that this show is like PG and that it was just underwear, because realistically, if we're going that direction, probably he should have been naked and it would have been the worst thing ever. But sure. Like, okay. So he walked into his underwear and like, I saw that and I was like, everyone just started laughing at him. I'm just like, I understand that everyone should be laughing at this like 16-year-old walking in and just like for some reason being in his underwear, and it's like, oh my god, haha, that's silly. But like, I look at him and I'm like, this is like a 27-year-old like fit muscular dude just being like, oh my god, don't look at me. And I'm just like, bro, you look like a Chad. Like, nobody should be laughing at you. Like, well, to be fair, teenagers will laugh at anything, but like that is like assuming that the show is making me believe that these are teenagers, which I kind of don't, because he didn't look like one. But yeah, anyway, whatever. There was that one dude that like, he was being a cool tough guy and I was laughing at him, and then his mom showed up and started giving him kisses and stuff, and it's like, mom, stop. And it's like, that's a fear, I guess. Fear of your masculinity being broken in front of people that you admire that will laugh at you and reject you. But you know, that enters into the realm of like the toxic masculinity, what does for you. Which is another issue altogether, but sure. Then we have Cordelia having like 80s like rock star hair, just like that, and she's like, oh my god, what happened to my hair? I just styled it or something. I just came from the saloon or something like that. I don't know what the fuck she said, but that was funny. And then she was being dragged by nerds into the chess club. That was great. I fucking love that so much. She was probably like really good at it. Like for Cordelia, it would probably be like the scariest thing for her to be a nerd than for her to like be humiliated, because she doesn't give a shit about that. So like, she probably went into the chess like tournament or some shit. Like, we weren't watching this happen off camera, but like, she was in like a chess tournament and she was being pit up against like nerds and shit, and she kept playing and she was doing all the right moves and she was just winning, and she was like, oh my god, I'm a nerd now. And everyone was like, oh my god, she's the best chess player ever. And she was like, now. That would have been funny to see. I wish that we could have seen that. I would actually be down for like a side like 5 minutes like short episode of that, just Cordelia's chess arc. I would love to see that. Anyway, fun to see fears and things exemplified on camera. And of course, the fear of Buffy So she becoming a vampire, she letting the master out, just the fact that she couldn't keep the master locked in. Also, we had Giles. Giles's fears. First of all, he couldn't read, which was, that sounds right. And then we had the moment where he saw Buffy's grave, and that's like another fear of his, because he failed in protecting the Slayer, and also because he probably just likes Buffy at this point. It's someone that you care about. So he was like, oh my god, she's dead, and then she turned into a vampire, which is Buffy's fear, and it's like, oh my god, this is fucked. So yeah, that was just fun to see all around. It was very interesting to see. It was also like a weird character growth episode, so I like that. This is like the first episode where we see the master, and also it's not like a real episode. I mean, I say real episode, but like every episode is a real episode, right? But like previous video I made on Buffy, I said that I think some episodes are like plot episodes and some episodes are like side story episodes. This was like a side story episode, but the master showed up in it. So I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe he had to show up for work because he was in the episode, like the actor, because he was part of the nightmare. So then while he was in the studio, they were like, well, let's record a scene with him and talking to the anointed kid or whatever while we're at it. But realistically, he wasn't part of the plot. He was just there. Let me skim through the episodes if there's anything else I want to mention. I almost saw the spiders. I forgot for a second and I almost clicked on that. I'm sorry. And I suppose I could ask you guys this just for audience interaction, but like, what would be the fear that would like materialize? Like, what would be the scenario that shows up for you as a nightmare if this were to happen in real life? Like, what would be yours? Like, I'm curious. Like, you don't have to like let your worst fears known on public, but like, if anyone would like to say theirs, I think that would be fun. Like for me, it would be, well, one of them would definitely be like spiders for sure. It would be. I didn't see what happened on the first scene, and I don't want to see it. But like, the worst would probably be. I mean, it's one or the other. It would be like a bunch of spiders like literally crawling all over me, like big furry ones, or it would be like literally just like a massive giant spider, and like at that just like in front of me, just approaching me. I would just be like, no, fuck that. It's just like, is there like steak or something that I can find that I can kill myself with real quick? Like, can I do that? Another one that's interesting. I want to come up with another one. The second one would probably be more existential, more emotional, rather than just like physical, something that I'm afraid of. It would probably be more about like rejection. That's a fear of mine, rejection. Or not a fear, but like something I like super sensitive about, I suppose. When I say rejection, like I'm trying to think, what would be the worst kind of rejection for me? I suppose the worst thing for me would be to have like some kind of like a scenario where there is someone that like just within the dream, it would be someone that is like really close to me, someone that has been there for me for like my entire life or decades or something, and then that person being like, fuck you. It's just like, fuck you, get out of my face, I don't want to see you again. Like that would probably be it. It would be something like that, someone really close to me just out of nowhere just being like that. Another big one of mine that this is like a real nightmare I have sometimes. It's just anything that causes misunderstanding, like in some way, like people cannot understand me, which is, it's funny because a lot of what my channel is that because I often get comments of people being like, oh, you said this or you think this, and I'm like, I never thought that. Maybe I just didn't communicate properly with my words, but people often misunderstand the things that I say, or people assume things about me because, I don't know, I didn't explain things properly, or I don't know, but that happens a lot. But anything that is like, I've had nightmares where like I need to communicate something like really important and I can't speak. Like I'm mute or no words come out of my mouth, or like literally like nothing happens. And like I just can't communicate. That's another nightmare I have sometimes. Yeah, those are probably three choices I could give you about mine. What else is there to say about this episode? I don't know. Again, it is almost 2 a.m, and I kind of want to get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, I needed to record this tonight because it's getting a little late. I had a busy week, so I couldn't just do this tomorrow. I needed to do it tonight. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. I just really enjoyed the way the episode came together at the end, where we found like the root of all the problems, which was this one fucked up coach, and they were like, "Fuck you." I like that. I like just seeing some dude that is clearly just like a bad dude and is the root of everything. And like when I saw him for a second, I thought they were just gonna let him go, but no, he shows up and they were like, "Fuck you, police." So I enjoyed that. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Thank you so much for joining me. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of a Buffy reaction. If you would like to watch the next 2 episode reactions, you can already do so over at the Patreon. You can be 2 weeks ahead. So yeah, check out the link in the description for that. There's early episodes and full-length reactions. Or if you just want to support the channel, that would help out a lot. Thank you so much to the patrons over here for help making this happen. And yeah, see you guys next time. Take care everybody. Bye bye.